Short, I'm not doing my homework. I spent about 5 or so minutes just prior to this video going through the events of the story and just running through and writing a brief like storyline so that I had like a bit of a timeline to follow, just so that I wouldn't forget many of the details. That being said, let's get into the video. So this video is just a story time of when I got rejected, and a quick disclaimer, this happened a couple months ago, but I'm mostly over it. We're still good friends, but yeah, this started actually at the beginning of the year, last semester. Oh my god, people are texting. I'm gonna turn off my ringer real quick, because if I don't, I'm not gonna be able to focus. I had to do the same thing when this is like the 4th or 5th time I've tried to record this exact video, but when I first recorded it, it was shortly after the whole incident, and it was more so just to show to my friends. Now I'm actually like gonna put it out on YouTube. Oh my god, okay. So the first interaction was when we first met, and it was on the first day of school. So what our school did, I don't know how much I put in the vlog, I don't remember, but I did record snippets of the first day. The first thing they did was they gathered everybody outside on the first day and told us to go line up in front of our homeroom teacher. And they sent out an email prior that gave us our schedule, so all the classes we had, and the teacher, whoever our homeroom teacher was. They told us first semester and second semester. And just want to backtrack real quick. When I signed up for the school, actually, I almost didn't have a high school registration because my middle school never sent the forms to my high school. So I had to go in the day before school and hand deliver the registration forms. Sorry, I almost forgot the word. So yeah, now I'm sitting there, I get to school, get out of the car, my mom leaves with my brother, and she's taking him to his school, because my school starts at 8:30, his starts at 9. Okay, so basically, my mom took me into school, and then she took my brother to school. I walked up, right, and I was asking the teachers, hey, do you know where this teacher is? And they're like, oh, yeah, this guy, right? They took his name, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, I don't see him yet. And he was about a solid 10-ish minutes late. You probably realize that gave me a lot of anxiety. So yeah, that was a problem. I think it was like a Wednesday, too. That's what was even worse. Let me see. I'm just gonna quickly check my calendar. If I go back to September last year, first day of school was a Wednesday, yeah. And then they sent us to school Thursday and Friday, which was so dumb. I don't know why they couldn't just like put us all on like September the 3rd. Why did it have to be September 1st? That was ridiculous. Anyways, they did it, I don't know, they did it for all the schools. That was so dumb. They just made us come to school. Or yeah, they could have even made it like the 6th, make it a Monday, or start it in like August. Why couldn't they start us on like a Monday? Why'd they do it on a Wednesday? That was off-putting. Anyways, so what they did was they took all the students, right? And first it was grade 10s at this time, and then they did grade 11s and 12s. And our school is 3 floors. So the top floor, actually it's technically 3 in the basement, so I guess you could say 4 floors. Top floor is the grade 10s, second floor is the grade 11s, main floor is just option classes and the gym, and then basement is grade 12s. So the first thing they did was they took everybody into the gym, and they had a bunch of relay races and stuff. They had leadership class. The leadership class is basically just the class that is all the students who basically plan out all of our like school dances and stuff, which for the record we have done none. But they just plan out, like, we had carnival, Halloween carnival. We had a winter carnival, which was only for the grade 12s because apparently they complained. Twin day, right? All of those things where they come around and they give candy. For Easter, they set up a Easter egg hunt, right? For Valentine's Day, they did Crush for Crush, which was super cool to watch. Yeah, it was very interesting. Our school, just the way they did everything, really. Anyways, so they took all of us and they put us in the gym. We did a bunch of like relay races and little competitions with our class. Teachers then led us to the original classroom. I took the seat, literally the seat closest to the door, because I wasn't sure if I was going to book it out of that classroom in embarrassment, in shame, in anxiety. I didn't know what was going to happen. I wanted to be closer to the door, just to be safe. And I sat there a good portion of the semester, right? And then I started moving. I had to move, no, not even a good portion of the semester, for like a good portion of like the first week or so of school, right? I think, or the first month. And then another girl sat there, so then I moved, right? And that's where I made my first friend. My first friend of high school. I made friends with her, I think, 2 weeks into high school. Let me see. Yeah, like 2 weeks roughly. And realistically, she was the first friend. I guess technically not, because this guy was. Let me see. The first thing we did was sit together. We sat beside each other. That was the first thing. Okay? He sat beside me, right? Our tables are like this. There's a table, and I think it was like 4 or 5 tables, and each table has 2 people sitting. And then it was a 5x4, so there were like, yeah, it was a 5x4, or it might have been 6x4. So there were like roughly 20 tables-ish. 20-ish tables, okay? Some had more, some had less. So I think we had like a solid 18 to 20 tables in that one room. The classrooms honestly were a lot smaller than I was expecting. At least the one that I was in at that moment. But just in general, they are kind of small compared to if you go to like there's classrooms, you'd think they'd be bigger because it's like a newer school. But actually they were smaller compared to if you go to like St. John Brebeuf, or if you go to the Hawkwood School, or if you go to St. Ambrose, right? Those classrooms for some reason are bigger than our classrooms. It's so dumb. And our school's very, very congested and confusing, for the record. It may be 3 floors, but with the COVID protocols, like, you're gonna get lost sometimes, especially if it's like your first day or 2. So he sat beside me. We had some like scavenger hunt on the first real day of school, so Thursday, right? So the first thing the teacher did, and I think we had English first. We had English first that day. So the first thing she did was she said, turn to the person sitting beside you and introduce yourself. And then you're going to introduce that person. You're going to introduce the person next to you. So I had to introduce him. So I did that. We did that. He introduced me, I introduced him. I was like, so this is him, right? I'm not going to give him a name. You know what? Random last minute name, Josh. This is Josh. Generic name that came to mind. So I was like, this is Josh, and then he turned to me, and this is Maya, right? And so then we carry on. For the thing though, the first actual thing, I think it was shortly after that, or I think we did this on like, when did we do this? It's interesting that this happened. I think this happened after the like scavenger hunt thing. They had us go around. So she said you're gonna work in groups of 2 with the person beside you, or it might have been he. I can't remember if it was the boy. I can't remember if it was Josh or the teacher. I have to remember it. Name for channel, name for the video, Josh. Real name, not gonna say. And hopefully he never sees this video because that's gonna be embarrassing. Hopefully none of my like childhood friends see this. That's gonna also be embarrassing. Oh god. Okay, I'm like sweating. This is so weird to talk about. Okay, so for that thing that I keep talking about, this like scavenger hunt, and then I'm just like not talking about it. I'm like describing it. I start describing and go on to something else. For this thing, I looked at him because he was talking to his two friends, one of which actually happens to be one of my friends now. We'll call him James. And then the third person, the other friend who kind of is just there. Honestly, I don't talk to him. Oh my gosh, we'll call him Ronald. Oh god. Okay. So, James and I are kind of friends, you know, we were talking the other day. He went hard for Rasputin, by the way. Oh my god, that man. That's off topic. So he was talking to Ronald and James. Just saying Ronald is very, very funny to me. Right? And so I was like, you know what, if you want to go, you can work with them. He's like, I was going to regardless. I was like, oh, okay. Not the best first impression. Alright, that's cool. Right, we go on, do this. A little while later, just kind of stop talking to him. We just exist, right? I think like 2 weeks later, I moved, and that's where I sat beside one of my current best friends. Give her a name, Sarah. Such a basic name. Oh my god, I'm just giving basic names at this point. So, me and Sarah sat beside each other. For the record, she's left-handed, so first we were sitting like this. She's here, I'm here, so we kept bumping arms. Then I was like, you want to switch? So we switched. We sat together, I think, the second half of September. Yeah. And then we met our third friend at, like, the beginning of October. Okay, I have to give her a name, too, because she's a very big part of this story. Lola. We'll call her Lola. Oh my god. I'm too tired to come up with creative names. So, the three of us were talking. The reason I became friends with Lola was because me and Sarah were talking about pineapples. She brought pineapple something for meal. I think she just brought straight up pineapple. And so she turned around, because she was sitting in front of us, she just turned around and started talking to us about pineapples. And that's kind of how we became friends. Inseparable. Now we have 2 more friends added to the group. But actually we have quite a few more friends added to the group. And oh god, that's a whole nother story time. The fact that there's a guy who's been real annoying this semester too. Oh my god. Ugh. Why is life so hard? Okay, moving on. Alright, we'll go on to the second point. It says here, late November, so I think it was around like the 20-somethings. Or 20-something, I think it was like the 21st or something like that. I was gonna say early 20s. He began to borrow my pencil, right? He went around asking people for a pencil, and I was like, here, you can borrow it, right? Because he was sitting beside me. The only free seat, because me and my friends would always sit at the back, was right beside me. So he would sit right here, I would sit right here, at the table. And so, you know, I was like, he sat down, he's like, ugh, can't work. So I went like this. I reached into my pencil case, and then I went like this. I was like, here, you can borrow it. So he kept borrowing my pencil all through last semester. So, end of November, all of like the early December, because then we had the break, and then all of January. That man drove me crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, he began to borrow my pencil. And then after that, we became friends through that, and at one point, I don't know why it says late December. It should say like late November or early December. There was at one point, I think it was like towards the very, very end of November, we were walking from business. It was a reversed day, it was an inverted day, so our normal schedule. It was an inverted day, so what happened was we had business first, okay? So it was like, normal schedule was social studies, English, lunch, option, business for both of us, right? He had leadership, I had sports medicine. So this specific day, it was English, social, lunch, business, and then options. I had sports med, he had leadership, right? For what would be period 3, this day was block 4. He had leadership, I had sports med. I keep saying that. I want to make that clear, okay? So what happened was, we were walking, right? We passed his leadership class on the way to my sports med room. I would normally pass it. So this specific day, he decided, you know what, she's always late. His excuse was, she's always late, so it wouldn't make a difference. So here's the layout, right? It's like a big, like, table, right? Do I have sticky notes? I have sticky notes. Let me freaking draw it out. Let me show you. Okay, because our school has a very weird setup. Right, so there is a classroom, and then here's our room, and then there's a classroom, and then there is this one, and then here, oh god, okay, here there is one, there's classroom, there's classroom, there's classroom, there's classroom, there's classroom, business studies, computer lab, classroom, and then stairwell. Okay, and then there are some classrooms on this, like, inner section as well. There's, like, library, there is the science lab. Okay, so this is gonna look very, very confusing. On here, you see this? Okay, so this is sports med right here, SM. This is business studies, BS. It's backwards. From my perspective, looking into the camera, everything is backwards. So, this is where our old classroom was, right? Business is over here. So we would walk like this, right? See this classroom, we'd go around this hall. His leadership class was right here, right? And then there's this classroom, and there's like a little space here. I can't draw it out too well, but the reason these two are out more is because there's a little space in this section here that has like computers and stuff, and there's like breakout rooms, which are just small rooms where you can go and work in silence. So then there's the classroom where our English teacher taught, and then she'd switch over with our social studies teacher, which would be right here, right? And then our semester, there's a classroom here, which is one that my friend is in, or was in, and then semester 2 classroom, right? There's a like space here. There's a space in front of the business room too, which is why these ones are at 2. And then our math teacher's classroom, and then sports med. So he walked with me from business all the way like this. We stop here. He decides he's gonna continue walking because he wants to see the sports med room. Follows me like this and comes to here, pretends to walk in, and then leaves as I'm walking into the class. Okay? He walked me to class, and my best friend saw this. This is post telling her that I liked him, which is really dumb because I didn't write that on here later on. I put them backwards, but yeah, so I told her, and then he walked with me to sports med, which is interesting. And for the record, this best friend was in both sports med and in business with me. I'm gonna call her Kayla, because I need to give her a name. She's also a pretty big part of this. So after that, we continued to talk and hang out in our homeroom class. You know, we became closer friends. Early December, he gives me his phone number. It was originally a joke. Originally, I was saying how he always sleeps through his alarms, and so maybe I should call him. Because he sent me an Instagram post saying that I should buy him an alarm bed. So I was like, you know what, at this point I should like start calling you. And he's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, wait, actually, how do you want me to do that? He's like, I can give you my number and then just text me his number. I'm like, oh my god, he gave me his number. I squealed quite loudly. Apparently no one heard, other than my best friend. I feel like he heard though because he did laugh, which is kind of awkward. But yeah. And then here we are, it's like, we're 3 days away from winter break, roughly. My friend Lola asks him, kinda discreetly, if he likes me. She quote unquote said, what do you think of Amaya? What are your thoughts? I was like, and like afterwards I texted her, like, I think it was that same day. But instead of texting Lola, I accidentally texted Josh. And he refused to tell me at that moment, right? And so I went in and I did proceed to text her. Quickly spoke to her right after this guy. For the record, it was a snowstorm, so we both walked home in a snowstorm. I could have called my mom. This man already started walking. I would have called my mom had he waited. No, he didn't. He walked. So we walked home in a snowstorm. Actually, no, this was not even this day. I don't think this was the day of the snowstorm. I remember we were walking and you were jokingly throwing snow at each other. Yeah, we were being really, really stupid. That's kind of what we normally do. So then here we are, last day of school. I gave him the box of Timbits I bought to give the class. There were some left, so I had a few and then I gave him the box. I was like, you know what, my parents are going to kill me if they know that I bought this. So I gave it to him, and he took it happily. So then my dad drove him home, and I was like, hey, what do you think of my dad? He's like, yeah, he's cool, I like his stash. And I turned to my dad, I was like, what do you think of him? And my dad's like, what, do you plan to marry him? I was like, no, I just want to know what you think of my friends. I don't know if I started blushing. I started panicking though when he asked that. I was like, shoot, he knows something. Yeah, but I think the day before, or like that day, he did tell me what, no, it was that day, after we got home, he did tell me what she friggin' said. I had already known because she told me, she reminded me. She told me she was gonna do it. I was like, okay, go for it. In fact, I was there with her when she texted him and asked if she could talk to him at lunch. We were in a break room, the three of us, we were working on our assignment. We did a social studies assignment, it was really, really dumb, but, yeah, so I get home and we're talking, and, yeah, he then proceeds to tell me, he's like, don't worry, I don't like you like that though, we're friends. Right, and he's like, yeah, besides, I like someone else. I was like, he's like, besides, I already had my eyes on someone else. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. I'm still looking around, you know? Like, I went super duper awkward. And I just did not talk to him for a couple of days, and then a few days later, he texts me. I said something, and then he tells me he has a girlfriend. I'm like, what? He's like, really? He's like, I have a girlfriend, by the way. I was like, really? And you didn't tell me this. So he sends me screenshots. I think I still have the screenshots. Oh my god. This made me so upset. I won't lie, I was very, very disappointed. My best friend was not thrilled. Let me see if I can read off the screenshots. Oh my gosh. I don't think I have them saved. I'm gonna be lucky if I do. He's like, do you want me to call you every morning? Great, okay, Oh god. Okay, here, I was like, I meant to text Lola, right? And I said, can you tell me what you and James, or Josh, were talking about? He's like, you sure you're texting the right person? I was like, sorry, I meant to ask Lola. He said, well, my bad. She won't tell you, I already know. I'm curious because she randomly took you out, so I'll ask her and see. I doubt she'll tell you, I can hope. I ain't telling you either. I had a feeling you wouldn't, but I can try her. Right, I'm just gonna cover the name. Actually, no, I can't even. Okay. But I can do this. I don't know how clear that's coming out. Okay, so there's a text between us, and then he said, oh, then we were talking about another guy in our class who was being really annoying. I did text her. Okay, so I texted her the same message I sent to him by accident. And she's like, are you sure you want to know? It's like, yes. And then she proceeds to send the text. Amaya is my friend. Okay. And then it says, that's it. And then she said, no, that's the answer to the question. I was like, what was the question? She said, but I kept asking, are you sure? And he said, yes, you were his friend. And the question was, how do you feel about Amaya? Like, damn. That hurts. Oh god, no. Oh. So then I was like, I'm still nervous when you meet my mom. I bet she'll embarrass me. He's like, I won't judge. And I was like, well, thanks. Hopefully he can take us to school in January. Now that he's met you, I'm sure he won't mind. And then I was like, dude, I'm so glad you got along with my dad. Normally he's pretty tough to please. He was like, did he say anything about me? And then I said, so far, no. He need to go out, so maybe he will later. But from what I'm observing, he seems super chill. I think he likes you. I'm so happy. He's usually the tough one, but I've been mentioning you quite a bit lately, so I think he's okay with you. Now we gotta see how Mom does. She seems eager to meet you. And he's like, haha, that's good. I think she just wanted to meet him because he was one of the people I was talking about a lot. So she probably wasn't eager to. Okay, we were talking about how he can be getting dumb. Okay, and then he sends me the screenshot of, so he says to this girl, wait, obvious about which one? You flirting or not? And then he's like, I need to be sure. We're gonna ignore the text that's thrown in between those. And she says, yes I am, I like you. And then he's like, I freaking like you too, what the heck? And then apparently they start dating, right? And so then, who did I send screenshots to? I sent screenshots to someone. Oh, I sent a photo of her to a couple different friends so that they had a bit more of an idea of who I was talking about. Let me see. Looking at you, I'm looking, I can't find anything. God damn. Okay, yeah, no, but like, I literally was so freaking sad because I thought he actually liked me back. He was flirting back with me. He was flirting back until he decides, nope, it's not flirting. In fact, I'm not flirting with you. In fact, I am just, you know, he was just not he just decided, nope, I'm not gonna flirt with you. And he's like, it wasn't flirting, I actually like another girl. I was not happy about that. In January as well. Okay, no, a few days after I found out he gets a girlfriend, me and my friends, Kayla, I think that's the name I gave her, and then one of her other friends, we went to the mall. And then a few days later, me and Josh did an assignment together. I don't know why I chose him as my partner. Could have chosen anybody in the class, I chose him. We did the assignment. Shockingly, he actually worked a lot harder than I thought he would. We got a decent grade on that assignment. And then, over the break, didn't talk to him. Got over him during like the 10-day break we got, or like the 12-day break. It was interventions, which is basically just, if you're failing, it's credit rescue. And then at the beginning of this semester, it was the beginning of February, he tried to talk to me a couple times, but I was just not having it, so I was a little bit snappy. My mental health hasn't been the best this semester, so fair enough. Yeah, and then a couple days ago, he kind of started talking to me again. How are my story times always super freaking long? It's because I keep zoning out now that I think about it. I'm gonna be going to a doctor tomorrow because I need to find out what's wrong with me, so that'll be Monday. And the only reason I know something's wrong with me is because I can't focus on anything. I seem to be getting a lot of migraines, and yeah, I'm just having a lot of problems. And so I'm gonna go see a doctor, gonna go find out what's wrong with me, possibly put on some medication and hope that my life gets better. Yeah, that being said, I think I'm gonna end the video here. I have to edit this video, and I wanted to film a couple other videos, possibly. I don't know. Yeah. There's not much else to do. Won't be filming a cover because I'm realizing it is 9:20 p.m. I could have filmed a cover, but I chose not to do anything today. So, yeah, I think I might do another vlog. I haven't done one of those in a while. Personally, I don't know how I feel about vlogs. Vlogs are very, very weird to me, but yeah, I might go back to my old ways of doing vlogs. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. I will try to make sure that I'm uploading on time. But yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you. Peace.